Alright, we finally got this muffler in position. This was more work than I thought it would be. So we ended up having to recut this inlet of the muffler. We ended up cutting the muffler, shortening that, and one, I guess you could say it would save weight, but the real reason was when I slid the pipe in there, this muffler was slightly out of alignment in one direction. So, you know, you're trying to get this lined up in 3 dimensions, right? X, Y, Z. So on a car, let's just say forward to backwards, that's where the misalignment was. I needed this end of the muffler needed to move towards the rear bumper, and it wouldn't quite do that enough. So I shortened this over here, and that allowed me to pull that a tiny bit. So we're lined up. This is kind of part of fabrication. You have to figure this out. So look here, see that brace, and then see the muffler? See how these two kind of look like they're lined up? So in this direction, kind of see, it's bumper, sorry, the bumper's kind of throwing this off, but basically, yeah, here we go. You can kind of see that. See how that looks pretty even? So that tells me that the bumper is level relative to that brace in that direction. And then I also did it in this direction. So this is looking up, and as you pull this back, you can kind of see it's pretty close right there as well. So that tells me we're correct in that axis, like rotationally. So, and then, well, maybe that's it. But basically, I just moved the muffler around and I lifted this jack up and down until I got it square in all these different dimensions. So now I think we're good to go. We got the welder hooked up. We're about to tack this thing in. Alright, so we got one pipe. This is that 180. We ended up welding, it's got tape over it. That's actually welded. So there's basically a 180 with a little short bend. There it is. That fell, but it's just taped. But anyway, that goes there. This thing hooks around. Welded a straight section on. And if you come over here to the inlet, you can see that clears no problem. And that kick, you can see, yeah, if we back up, that kind of moves this over, so we got enough room to make that bend. So this is where we're at. I'm gonna fix this little spot that dropped right there, and we're going to tack weld that onto the muffler. Alright, so we got this pipe on the left here. It's all, these 2 main pieces are welded, and then it's tack welded pretty good to the muffler, so it won't go anywhere. We basically welded this inside. I know that looks bad. It was really hard to get in there, but we did that because it might be more difficult to weld when this other pipe's on. And then we went ahead, we also fabricated the pipe for the passenger exit. And these 2 sections are welded on and the others are tacked. Yeah, that looks bad. That's really thin. That'll be easier to do off the car. That was all overhead. So, and then over here we got that tacked onto the muffler, and you can see we just used that blue tape to hold everything in position. So here's our, I'll show you we got our 1 exhaust exit on. So here it is from the back. It moves slightly. We can probably adjust this because we haven't put the hangers on yet, so this moves a little bit. So we should be able to straighten that out. And here's our depth. Just barely proud of the muffler. So yeah, got this one pipe. We're about to we should probably get a hanger on this side. So we'll probably put an exhaust hanger, and then we'll begin mock up and fab for the driver's side exit. Hey guys, so here's an update. It's kind of bad, but so this kind of looks cool. We got exhaust tips, but look what happened. This one's a little crooked. Doesn't look as bad depending on how you hold the camera, but that's crooked. So it was straight earlier. What happened, or what I think happened, either it moved when it landed on the hangers, or I bumped this at some point and accidentally shifted the muffler. So we remember when we designed all this, we needed a certain amount of clearance between these parts. It actually looks like I need to move this exhaust right a little bit. So you can see right there is kind of close, and you come over here by the diff, we have a lot of room. So I need to shift that pipe a little bit more. We don't have that centered, and we did have this centered at one point, and like I said, I think I just bumped it by mistake and didn't catch that, and then did all this fitment, and it looked good, and now it doesn't. So I can shift, there's actually enough room I can shift this whole assembly towards the driver's side and center the tip, but then we don't have much clearance over here, and I'm not doing that. So that pipe, unfortunately, is going to have to come back off. The good news is it's really just tacked on there, so you can see there's a tack there, and there's some welds over here we'll have to cut. But we're gonna have to take that back off and mock it all back up again. You know, trim that pipe a little, mock it back up the way it's supposed to be, and then weld it back out. So this is just part of it. I guess I got in a hurry and made a mistake. It happens. We also messed this other pipe up, so you can kind of see it here. So that muffler is extremely square, and if you look at this pipe, I'm going to hold it right there. You can see on the right hand side where that corner of that bumper, or sorry, the corner of the muffler meets the bottom of that pipe, and you can see on the left hand side they're not parallel. So that piece moved on me as well. I had that straight. I think I even have it on video being straight, but anyway, that moved on me, and I actually welded that one quite a bit. That's the only reason I haven't changed it yet. It's got a weld across the entire inside of it. So we'll see. This I'm gonna knock off for the night, but the plan is next time I work on this, we're gonna cut the passenger side pipe off, modify that, put it back on there, try to get it centered up correctly this time. And then we're gonna contemplate our life choices and decide if we're gonna cut this pipe and try to fix that tilt problem. So let you know what we decide.